start off with, we do want to continue to cover what's been going on at Howard University. Again, something not only because I'm at Morgan State in Baltimore and the sort of sister rivalry we have, but more importantly because of the broader sort of collective I consider myself a part of, that is faculty, more specifically HBCU faculty and Black faculty within the university, and all of these overlapping issues. So to continue to get a little bit more of an update and try to watch what's going on over there, we have joining us is Dr. Aisha Bonner Cozad, and please correct me when I bring you up if necessary, who among other things is a lecturer at Howard University, which is itself, as we talked a little bit about, a precarious position to be in. So we welcome you and appreciate you joining us this morning. Thank you very much. Dr. Cozad, did I say that correctly?
Cozad, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm actually an adjunct, so even lower on the totem pole,
right.
as it is. So
right. Well, so then even more, thank you even more for joining us this morning. I appreciate it. So we talked a little bit last week. We were just following the news and read some of what faculty were calling for, but if you can just sort of lay out as much of the background as you would like, and then tell us what is going on, because I think a lot of people not only do not understand the HBCU experience as faculty, just in general, but don't know the specifics of a Howard University that in pop culture is prominent, but again, not necessarily understood in terms of the day-to-day. So please.
Sure. Thank you for the opportunity to sort of share what's going on. Unfortunately, the communications that the university has been sharing with students and other faculty have been wrong. I'll just say that. So it's a pretty short story. Howard University, non-tenure track and adjunct, so all of those professors who aren't full-time tenured faculty, unionized a few years ago, SEIU Local 500. And when we did that, we started a contract negotiation with the university. That contract has been in negotiations for 4 years. Because simply the university has essentially refused to meet, which is why there are injunctions that we are currently filing with the Federal Labor Board, because they are bargaining in what's called bad faith, and you're not allowed to do that by law. So we need two things in general, so two categories. We need fair pay. Howard non-tenure track faculty and adjuncts are the lowest paid around, certainly in this area. And it's just disgraceful. The students at Howard pay the same price, no matter who teaches them. The same cost. They don't get a discount if they get an adjunct or a lecturer, a non-tenure track lecturer. They pay the same price, and we are held to the same standards. You are expected to leave my course as knowledgeable as if you had a course with the most prominent tenured professor in the university. So to me, if you're getting the same amount of credits and you're paying the same cost and have the same expectations, why am I not paid a fair wage? I don't think this is a hard concept to understand. And the university really plays on, and among the many things I find distasteful about this situation, they play on the fact that the majority of us come to Howard, it's more of a vocation than it is a job. I was a student of Howard. I remember my whole life, I went to predominantly white institutions. When I came to Howard, it was the first time I was in a classroom full of brown arms, just like mine, reaching up. I can still remember the first day I was in a classroom at Howard. My pull to be faculty at Howard has nothing to do about the money. It has everything to do about, I know how integral that experience was to my Blackness, to understanding a part of myself that I was disconnected from. And it literally changed my life, and the relationships I've built with the professors and other folks who were classmates and now colleagues, integral to my professional development, my personal development. We come to Howard because we feel the need to give back to the students to make sure they have the same quality of education we provided, to be a part of this storied institution. And they play on our desire because they know that we aren't looking necessarily, that's not maybe our number one issue, looking at the salary. We feel a connection to the school and want to be part of it. And they know that they can work us for cheap pay, so they do. The second issue is really about job security. Right now, if you're non-tenure track or an adjunct, you have to reapply for your job every single year. Which, if you've never worked at a job where you have to see if you're good enough every year, it's nerve-wracking, right? Can I count on this money? I have to pay my mortgage. I don't know, my kid needs braces. I have to get new glasses. Can I count on this money to be in my bank account? And so what we're asking is that after, certainly we understand the first year, maybe you don't know, you want to make sure a teacher is going to work, that we are allowed to have 2-year appointments. So we can begin to address the issue of job stability. They are not big asks, at least from our perspective. They would help to make our lives more stable. Some professors are working, and I think you even mentioned this in your show the other day. Some professors are working at multiple universities, trying to pull together a full course load or more, right? Trying to get 6-8 classes, maybe even working some other kind of part-time gig. It's not to mention, in addition to the teaching, the grading, all of the tasks that surround being a professor, we are also resources for our students, writing letters of recommendations, office hours / counseling hours, helping them to think about their future, right? Just because we are not tenure track doesn't mean we don't also have all of those other responsibilities, which we are happy with. We want to teach, we want that interaction, but we should be paid fairly, and we shouldn't have to be terrified that maybe there are about 400 of us in this collective bargaining unit. Not all of us teach every semester because their contracts don't get renewed every semester. That's what we're asking for. That is what we're asking for, in short.
So I just made I had made a note earlier when you were drawing on the I think rightly so, the differences between or the similarities that is the sameness that is expected of anyone regardless of their rank in terms of what they produce educationally and in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously the main reason why there's a preference to have adjuncts and lecturers doing that work with the same expectations is because of the pay and the benefits.
Right.
And I think, somewhat related, and I don't know exactly how the relationship would play out, but I'm sure it seems pretty clear to me that there is a relationship between not only expecting the same results regardless of rank and pay, a desire to limit the amount of benefit packages paid, that is, whether it's tenure or just healthcare or whatever, and the fact that even when we do make the highest rank, as I see some in the chat talking about a full professor at HBCUs, we're still teaching 4 4s.
That's right.
Because again, the goal is to it seems that the goal in these institutions is to prevent at almost all cost. My bias is, of course, with the liberal arts, is to prevent faculty to have room through course reductions and adequate pay to produce intellectually, to engage intellectually, both the campus and the broader society community. Uh, um, by making sure that even when you again hit a certain rank, the 4-4 remains, which is just taxing on every level. So,
Oh,
um,
absolutely.
in the chat, I understand. Well, I understand to a certain extent, at least. Well, I appreciate the position that you're in, both as an adjunct, but part of a union, which is part of this. I can't understand and appreciate, since we're not allowed to do that in Maryland.
Right, right.
Um, but shout out to you all for doing that, and congratulations on the unionization. But when I see in the chat, and I know that this is something that has come up with other issues, particularly with Howard University and the level of celebrity that it has and the level of celebrity that it attains, the broader support among the celebrity status faculty for this effort. Is there anything that you all have noticed or would care to, is there anything that you all have? Is there any response publicly that you all have to that, or is it an issue that again is not understood by those of us not in the immediate moment? If that makes sense.
I mean, listen, I'm only going to speak from my perspective. This isn't an issue that we've necessarily talked about in the union and have some particular stance. So I will only speak from my own perspective, and that is, I understand, Howard is a real sort of tricky place, right? Like you said, it has a celebrity status and celebrities both, it has for many students been a place of just an incredible experience, right? A place where you can feel seen and trust and believe. I want that. I want every Black and brown person on the planet to have space where they feel seen, heard, loved, accepted, right? We need that so desperately. And all I want to do is to ensure that we have that space. At the same time, I don't know that I really care. Like the celebrities,
Okay.
If they bring people to the table, if they bring money, because yes, Howard has a lot. Do we have the same sort of endowment as, say, a Harvard? No, we do not. Right? I mean, there are real life differences at the top tiers of these educational institutions. So if a famous person brings us to the table, happy for it, but that doesn't mean that the administration needs to act like they're acting and disrespecting us. They call us temporary faculty. I mean, it's insulting, even after being asked to stop doing that. I have been teaching as an adjunct in the School of Social Work since 2014. How is that temporary?
Right. And the other part of it is that, I mean, wow, that's really is insulting. I'm sorry to even hear that one. I mean, because the other part of it is, of course, many adjuncts and lecturers would happily take tenured and tenure track positions were there more of them being offered. I mean, that's
paid. If they paid a livable wage. I interviewed for tenure track because I thought about it, because I love Howard and I love teaching. But the reality is, in my full-time job, they could not even approach the pay. And I was like, so my mortgage still has to be paid. like the bank wants their check every month. So I cannot take less money to do this work just because I love it.
Right. So listen, you all, you and whoever else wants to come here is always welcome to update us at any point. Just quickly, just so at least I'm clear, you all have walked out and are stayed out, or what is the exact status of the faculty?
Sure.
Yeah.
So after Friday, we had a negotiation. We asked them to come back to the table. We said we're available Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning. Like we will give it all of the time. They initially told us they could not come back to the table until Friday.
Okay.
And then over the weekend, we got a call. They set up about 12 hours, 12 to 15 hours of negotiations with us Monday and Tuesday with an open slot. The Tuesday night slot is set up from 4 until. So we are cautiously optimistic that they understand that we are 100% serious. If we do not have a tentative agreement that's been signed, only awaiting ratification of both parties, that we will strike Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. So that's the plan. And I'm hopeful. I think they see that the community is with us. Other tenured faculty are with us. The students are with us. And I think that this media storm, so thank you to all of the media who have taken an interest in what's happening on Howard.
Black, certainly Black Power Media.
Yes.
And our now 15,000 subscribers are all in solidarity, no question. And we greatly, and like I said, anytime we can help out, you're welcome back.
Well, maybe we can give you an update Tuesday or Wednesday and just let you know where we're at.
Absolutely. We'll work something out and have you come through the Remix Morning Show and do that. That'd be great.
Okay. Thank you so
and
much.
Certainly, more power to you and best of luck going forward. I certainly really appreciate what you all are doing. So thank you all very much. And thank you, Dr. Cozad, for coming through, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Take care.